Hi everyone, it's John Mitchell. This is the last video in our series of 4 videos where we're looking at different ways to optimize operations. We've been through facilities, layouts, materials management, quality management, and now we're looking at technology and operations. And we've spoken about this all along, that organizations are trying to find ways to improve their operations system, and as a result, sometimes or often they'll turn to technology to help them achieve that. Now, technology, when it's implemented into the operations system, can have some benefits, such as it can improve the speed of production, it can improve quality. Some people can argue that it could also detract from quality. If something's been handcrafted and then all of a sudden machines are doing it, then it may take away from some of the quality, and that's a legitimate point. But there's no doubt that technology can, in many instances, can help improve the quality of a good, and as well as the service that's being provided. It can improve productivity and reduce waste, and as a result of that, that can help reduce ongoing costs. High initial costs can be one of the drawbacks, and we'll get to that in a second, but reduced ongoing costs because of the improved productivity and reduced waste can be a real benefit. It can also improve the health and safety of the employees by helping them lift things and those type of things. So there's some of the benefits of implementing technology into the operations system. Now, it's important that if you're ever asked to discuss, that you need to know some drawbacks of technology and just think logically about this. But here's just a couple. So workers need to be upskilled. If they're implementing technology, they obviously need to be trained. That then takes time and costs money in order for them to do that. And there's downtime while they're actually learning to use the technology until they become familiar with it, which means there's a loss of productivity and those type of things during that time. Technology can replace employee, which results in job losses as a real drawback or negative that can happen. High initial cost and maintenance costs, so it can be really costly to firstly implement the technology, and then you need to constantly maintain the technology, which can be costly for the organisation. And also, I've got there, less tech-savvy employees may fear the change. So if they've been doing something a long period of time and they've been in the industry or within the organisation a long period of time, and then all of a sudden technology's been implemented, that can really cause some anxiety for those type of employees. Now, if we look at the exact technologies that are used, I'm going to split this into 2 areas: manufacturing and service type organisations. Just keep in mind that these are just some of the suggestions. There's no specific technologies listed in the study design, and any legitimate technology can be seen as an appropriate technology if it makes sense for the scenario that you're given in a SAC or an exam. So here's just a few. So firstly, robotics, a highly specialised form of technology that's capable of automated and complex tasks, often used in manufacturing, especially in product layouts, manufacturing of cars and those type of things, where the robotics will lift the cars, things that are really heavy, as well as will do high impact welds and all those kind of things. Computer-aided design, or CAD, is software that creates product possibilities from a series of parameters, can help the organisation design the actual product before it's put into production to see if it actually works. Something like a plane can be designed on computer these days to see whether it meets all the parameters that physics creates. See if it's too heavy for the runways, if its wingspan will fit into, will actually help it fly, as well as whether it will fit into the hangars and those type of things. Computer-aided manufacture is the software that designs and controls the manufacturing process. So, rather than employees always just pressing buttons and using the machines, then all of a sudden software can help the actual manufacturing of or the manufacturing process. And then CIM, computer integrated manufacturing, is a method where the entire manufacturing process is controlled by computer systems. Often it will even do quality checks and those type of things by taking photos and scanning and then rejecting any faulty product. So they're just some of the examples that can be used in manufacturing. And again, with services, I've just got just a few examples there. Depends on the scenario, depends on the organisation and the industry. So here's just a few that they use. Customer relationship management, is maintaining customer contact, tracking their purchase history, so that then the service that you're delivering, you understand what the consumer actually wants. Video conferencing, more probably for not just services, but any kind of office organisation. Electronic payment systems, that's again not for service, but it is part of delivering a really good service. So FPOS, PayWave, those type of things, for banks. E-commerce, being able to allow people to purchase things online is a really good service that a lot of organisations provide. Databases, again, really closely linked with customer relationship management, being able to keep databases on employees and suppliers and those type of things, as well as social media can help a service organisation deliver the service that they're after. So again, they are just a few examples, depends on the scenario, so just think this logically through here. So for example, if you were given, retail chain, such as Coles, Woolworths, or anything similar, now they're implementing technology to help self-service checkouts. Now, does that detract from the customer experience? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it enhances it. They're the things you need to consider, but it definitely helps improve productivity because they don't need as many employees at the checkout counters. Again, there's been a scenario where, we've been given before an airline and some technology there that you can check in on your phone now, and then you get the boarding pass delivered straight to your smartphone, so you don't have to go to the checkout counter. Again, improves productivity, improves the customer experience, so that they don't have to get there an hour or 2 hours before their flight. They can simply check in when on their phone. And any kind of e-commerce, which we've spoken about, but internet banking, doing any kind of banking online is another example of technology in a service industry. So it just depends on the scenario that you're given. Just think through logically, and any logical type of technology that can be used in that scenario will normally be accepted. So just to recap over the 4 videos, we've looked at facilities design and layout, where we had our strategies of a product layout, process layout, and fixed position layout, and then our materials management, where we looked at production plan, master production schedule, materials requirement plan, just in time, barcoding, and supply chain management. And then we had our quality management. We looked at the strategies of quality control, quality assurance, and total quality management, and technology, where just some of the examples, and I want to just stress that it is just some of the examples where we looked at robotics, computer-aided design, computer-aided manufacturing, computer-integrated manufacturing, customer relationship management, and the list could go on forever there. So just keep in mind that they're the 4 key areas to optimize operations, and they're the strategies within them. So for questions and activities and more on this video, then come on over to teachingbubble.com.